Hello, this is Aaron Washing, and this is Flickchart episode 2. so yeah, you basically know the rules, you know the lifelines, so let's get started with our first pairing, which is Meet the Parents versus Rayman. Never seen Meet the Parents, so yeah. Okay, Far and Away versus Rayman. Never saw Far and Away. Oh, the Tom Cruise off here. Collateral versus Rayman. Rayman. The Collateral great. Excellent film. Okay. Night in the Museum versus Snatch. Snatch. Yeah. Awesome film. The Dark Knight versus The Shawshank Redemption. Shawshank. Okay, The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring versus Finding Nemo. Finding Nemo. I love Fellowship and Two Towers, but I don't, say, oh, this is, my top 100 favorite films of all time, but Finding Nemo is, and it's part of my childhood, so yeah. Okay, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids versus Ice Age. I'm gonna go with Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. I actually really enjoyed it. I just recently watched it, actually. Okay, next pairing. The Bourne Ultimatum versus The Princess Bride. Oh my goodness. I haven't seen Bourne Ultimatum. Oh man. The Incredible Hulk, the Edward Norton one, versus The Princess Bride. Princess Bride. Yeah. Beetlejuice versus Seven. Seven. One of my faves. Okay. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban versus The Prestige. I'm gonna go with Prisoner of Azkaban, because I think that's probably the best Harry Potter film, actually. I think. Okay, Ocean's 11 versus Terminator 2. Ooh. I'm gonna go with Terminator 2, though I love Ocean's 11. Okay. X-Men versus Anaconda. Never saw Anaconda. X-Men versus Big. Gonna go with Big. Okay, Saving Private Ryan versus Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Saving Private Ryan. Awesome film. Okay, Basic Instinct versus Crocodile Dundee. Never seen either. Okay, Kill Bill Volume 1 versus Being John Malkovich. Ooh, great films. I'm gonna go with Being John Malkovich because how clever and inventive the movie was. Gremlins versus Aliens. Okay, Aliens, for sure. Okay. Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny versus Prestige. I have not seen Tenacious D. Okay. Knocked Up versus The Prestige. Never seen it. Knocked Up. Forrest Gump versus The Prestige. Forrest Gump. Awesome film. The Blair Witch Project versus Mrs. Doubtfire. Want to see that. I heard how awesome it is. But yeah, I have not seen Blair Witch. Okay, The Matrix Reloaded versus Mrs. Doubtfire. Never seen Matrix Reloaded. The Blues Brothers versus Mrs. Doubtfire. Gonna go with Mrs. Doubtfire. I had more fun with that than Blues Brothers, to be honest. Okay, Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King versus the newest Star Trek, Return of the King. Mr. and Mrs. Smith versus Annie Hall. Never saw Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Aladdin versus Annie Hall. Annie Hall. It's in my top 3 favorite films of all time. Love it. I adore Annie Hall. Okay. Species 2 versus Batman. Never seen Species 2. Okay. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom versus Batman. Batman. Okay. The Jungle Book versus The Big Lebowski. Gonna go with Big Lebowski, but The Jungle Book is one of my favorite Disney films. Okay. Runaway Jury versus Die Hard 2. Never saw Runaway Jury. The Goonies versus Die Hard 2. Goonies. Did not like Die Hard 2. Did not. Okay. Transformers Revenge of the Fallen versus Chicago. Chicago. Really good film. Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix versus Kevin James Sweat the Small Stuff. I have not heard of that. Okay. Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix versus Happy Gilmore. I'm gonna go with Happy Gilmore. Order of the Phoenix was okay, it wasn't great though. Ooh. Here's a good pairing. Memento versus Stand By Me. I'm gonna go with Stand By Me, but because, oh my goodness, they're both amazing movies, but Stand By Me speaks to me more. Okay, Home Alone versus Men in Black. Home Alone. Men in Black, good movie, but not great. Okay, GoldenEye versus American History X. Never saw GoldenEye. Okay, The Nightmare Before Christmas versus American History X. American History X. E.T. the Extraterrestrial versus Night at the Museum. E.T. Okay. Ants versus The Matrix. Never saw Ants. Okay. Superman versus The Matrix. Ooh, both great films. I'm gonna say Matrix though. The Superman, awesome. Love Superman. Okay, next. Children of Men versus Donnie Darko. Children of Men. As you heard in my last episode, I did not care for Donnie Darko. Okay. The Sixth Sense versus Spider-Man 3. Sixth Sense, but I'm one of the few people that likes Spider-Man 3. 51st Dates versus Charlie's Angels Full Throttle. Never saw either. So, yeah. Titanic versus National Treasure. Titanic. Love it. The Sixth Sense versus Fortress. Never saw Fortress. Sixth Sense versus Snatch. Ooh. See. Gonna go with, see, Sixth Sense. I don't know, that's hard. Okay. Breach versus $1 Million Baby. Never seen Breach. Okay, The Little Mermaid versus $1 Million Baby. $1 Million Baby. Awesome film. Back to the Future Part 2 versus True Lies. I'm gonna say Back to the Future Part 2. 3. But True Lies is really good. Gone with the Fish versus The Prestige. Never saw Gone with the Fish. Fargo versus Prestige. Fargo. Top 5 favorites. Okay. Mission Impossible versus Back to the Future Part 3. I've never seen any of the Mission Impossible films. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the animated one, versus Back to the Future Part 3. Okay. I'm gonna say Back to the Future Part 3, though. Rudolph, childhood favorite, of course. And finally, Sabrina versus Team America World Police. Never seen either. And that's the new Sabrina with Harrison Ford, not the Audrey Hepburn and Humphrey Bogart one. Okay. Enchanted versus The Terminal. I've never seen The Terminal. Okay. Enchanted versus the newest Star Trek. Enchanted. Let's do one more just for kicks. Okay. Ooh. The Day After Tomorrow versus Raging Bull. Raging Bull. Fantastic film. And Flickchart. Well, not as fun as the last episode, but still fun. And I'll see you later.